What's up, guys? So another, yet again, successful night of fights and predictions. This is like maybe my seventh or eighth event that I'm doing, and so far every single one of them I've been over 60%, except for one of them that I did 57% as far as my predictions accuracy. On this one I did 5 out of 7. 71%, which is awesome. I'll take it, and let's get to it. For the first thing I'll say before I cover the results is on the description of this video there's a link to my actual prediction video that I did I think on the 3rd. That way, if you want to, you can compare what I said versus what happened, and obviously compare the results. Just so you see that I'm always honest about my predictions and when I criticize myself and all. So I'm gonna talk about the 7 fights that I covered. I covered 7 of them, but the one for Shevchenko and Montano got canceled. Then on the prediction video, on the description, I added my thoughts for the Suarez and Esparza fight, which you will see there. But let's get to this. So, first fight of my predictions was Diego Sanchez versus Craig White, which I was way off, completely off. My prediction, what I said was gonna happen was like 95% wrong. And I admit it, no excuses. Basically, I thought Craig White was going to win by KO TKO round 1. I thought obviously all this was covered on the prediction video. I thought that he was going to be too big for Diego Sanchez and too strong to the point that Diego Sanchez would not be able to take him down. Because I had the thought that Diego Sanchez was going to want to turn this into a wrestling fight, which obviously he did. But I did not think he was going to be able to succeed. But goddamn, I was wrong. Took him down at will. Absolutely no resistance from Craig White. I mean, I'm so pissed off. I swear to God. I mean, this guy just got beat up by 37-year-old, broken chin, punching bag Diego Sanchez. Dominated him, completely destroyed him. I mean, part of me is happy just for Diego's legacy and what he has done to his sport, but I'm pissed because just how wrong my prediction was on this one. Diego Sanchez took him down, controlled him. However, the few seconds that the fight was on the feet, especially on that second round and third round, you could tell that Craig White was landing hard shots on Sanchez, for the few seconds that lasted. But basically the entire fight was Diego on top of Craig White, just ground and pound, solid, nice ground and pound. Complete 100% total domination. I wouldn't be surprised if Craig White gets cut. I mean, if you get dominated by Sanchez, who himself has been getting dominated, what does that say about you? Like, this guy has no chance in the UFC. So yeah, I had so that was one of the ones that I was wrong, completely wrong, way off. Diego Sanchez surprised me, dominated the fight. And again, just what an ability to take this guy down. It's almost like he didn't practice and he didn't expect the takedowns. I don't know. It was just so easy how he took him down. So the other fight that I covered was, let's see, so this one. So originally like I said, on my videos, I had the Shevchenko and Montano, but since Montano got injured or whatever and got stripped from the title, and that fight got canceled, on the description of the video I added my thoughts on this fight, which it was very, very accurate, except for the how the fight ended. So if you actually go and read it, I had Suarez winning by complete total domination, but I had it by submission round 1. and it was what's happening here. It was a complete, total domination by Suarez. Absolute dominant performance. But it was a KO TKO round 3. Yeah, what a destruction. Basically, I didn't, like I said, I didn't cover it in the video, but just the level of grappling of Suarez was 10 times superior. Took her down at will and just gave it a grappling clinic. So not much to talk about this one because, like I said, I didn't cover it, but I wrote it on the description. But let's get to this one. This one, 100% perfect breakdown, perfect prediction. My prediction was Alhassan KO TKO round 1, and that's the fight lasted 44 seconds. If you listen to my breakdown of the fights, I talked about how this guy, his 9 wins, all of them were round 1, like every single one of them round 1, all of them by KO TKO, and 5 of them in under a minute. And basically, I predicted that this fight was going to be round 1 KO TKO. I did not expect that it was going to be in under a minute though, and holy shit, he did. 44 seconds. So now this guy is 10, all 10 by KO TKO, 6 of them in under a minute. Not much to take in 44 seconds, except basically what I said about this guy. Brutal knockout power. If he connects, you go down. I knew that Nico Price had no chance if the fight was standing up, and yeah, I want to see this guy fight a top 10 or for his next fight. And I will be doing my other video as to, if you see my videos before of my who I think a fighter should fight, like if I was the UFC matchmaker. Then the other one that I covered, also perfect breakdown, perfect prediction, was this one, Rivera versus Dodson. My prediction was Rivera to win by decision. That's exactly how it went. I talked about how Jimmy Rivera keeps a lot of pressure, while John Dodson seems to always stay backpedaling while looking to counter, and that Rivera was the bigger guy, and just the continuous pressure was going to be too much for Dodson, and that's exactly how it went. However, the one thing that I was surprised at was on the breakdown of the fight, I had mentioned how I thought Johnson had the hand speed and the one-punch knockout power, while I gave the volume and the pressure to Jimmy Rivera. But I gotta say, on the speed, Jimmy Rivera was up there with Dodson, maybe even slightly faster. So that's something that definitely surprised me. I knew this fight was gonna have no grappling involved. But yeah, perfect prediction for this one. Rivera by decision. Basically, John Dodson, he landed a few nice clean shots on Rivera, but nothing too much to really hurt him. I mentioned how we haven't seen the explosiveness from John Dodson from 4 or 5 years ago. I talked about how he's 34 years old versus 29 years old, and that you can make the argument he's just getting into his prime towards the end of his career, towards the end of his prime, maybe not his career, but definitely towards the end of his prime. And yeah, Rivera by decision, so very happy on that one. On this one too, another one, perfect prediction, perfect breakdown, perfect prediction. I said Zabit was going to win round 2 by submission. That's exactly how it went. I was surprised though, in that round 1. I thought Brandon Davis did actually pretty good on that round 1, a lot better than how I imagined. I thought it was going to be a complete domination from the get-go by Zabit, and that Davis was going to survive round 1 and then be a little tired and get finished round 2. And it didn't really wasn't like that. Like, Brandon Davis put up a decent fight on that first round, and Zabit didn't do too much on that first round. I mean, he showed his grappling and all, but Davis did pretty good. it was on that second round that Zabit just took over, took him down, and submitted him, and it showed his superior grappling. He did the takedown, the one takedown that I had mentioned before, the one where he, grabs him by the neck and just kicks the leg out and throws him. That's basically what, the way how Zabit did and took him down and, ended up submitting him with that crazy knee bar that has only happened once in the UFC before, and then it happened twice on this one event. But yeah, complete domination by Zabit. So that was, not too much to think about this fight. The guy was negative minus 400 to win. I mean, minus 1400. So this fight really didn't do much for Zabit. The guy deserves a top 10 next fight for sure. Which I will also talk about who I think he should be fighting. But yeah, very happy with that one. The other one that I covered was this one, which was basically almost not perfectly predicted, but I said I had Jessica Andrade winning by domination, submission round 2, and it was just a brutal. Basically, Jessica Andrade started the fight and started swinging at Karolina non-stop. However, after like an initial barrage of like 20 seconds, it seemed like Karolina started, get a hold of herself and landed some nice shots on Andrade. On a couple of times, it didn't even look like he's kind of stunned her a little bit. But overall, I was convinced it was going to be a dominant victory by Andrade, and that's how it was. But I was surprised that he knocked her out with one punch. Exactly like Joe Rogan mentioned when he was doing the interview. You rarely see that on women's MMA, and yeah, it looked like a guy landing a one-punch knockout on the other person, and put Karolina away. So, she's ready for a title in my opinion, and we'll see what happens next. So that one was good too. And then the one with Woodley and Till, which was the other one that I was wrong. My prediction was for Darren Till to win by KO TKO round 2, and it was actually Woodley who won round 2 by submission, which I would have never ever seen coming. I thought if Woodley was gonna win, it was gonna be by a flash KO. But so kind of what I said on the fight, I said that I thought that Darren Till had better hands, which we didn't really get to see it because there was not too much exchanges in between them. Tyron Wood wanted to clinch one of the takedown, and this was the one part that I did mention on the fight, was that if Darren Till did his homework, he was going to be very well prepared for Woodley's takedowns, and that's exactly how it was. Woodley, he couldn't take him down, not once. Look, 0 out of 4. So Darren Till, as I thought, was very well prepared for Woodley's takedowns. The reason why he got taken down was because he ate a shot from. It was a clean right-handed drop him, which actually shows you the chin that Till has on him. A lot of people would have been knocked out with just by that punch alone, let alone the follow-up ground and pound. But so round 1 was very uneventful. A lot of work against the clinch, a lot of Woodley backing up and just doing like a quick explosion of 1-2 punches. Most of them blocked though. But that second round, early on that round, Tyron Wood was backing up, and then when Till overcommitted, he threw a right hand that caught him clean on the jaw, dropped him. Tyron Woodley got on top, started throwing some nasty ground and pound. I thought Till was about to get finished, but the more the fight went, I was like, okay, this is good. I was like, it seems like if Till survives, Tyron Woodley might be a little bit tired, and Till might turn it around. But no, it's just almost less than a minute to go. Tyron Woodley locked in that submission and finished Darren Till. So yeah, those were the two that I was off. The Sanchez White, which I was completely wrong as far as the breakdown and prediction, and this one, the Tyron Woodley and Till, which I had partially right on a few things, but would have never imagined Tyron Woodley winning by submission for sure. And overall, guys, I did. Let me show you real quick. I did 9. Here we go. As you can see, there's the little alien from American Dad. 9 out of 13, which is awesome. I mean, that is a pretty awesome record. I think I would have been a lot happier with 10 out of 13. You can see it again. A few, here's the Magomed Sharipov perfect prediction, the Alhassan perfect, and then the few decisions that were in. I lost this 3 in a row, and I was like, God damn it, this is gonna suck. And then, like I said, I was hoping I would be right on this one. And would have been a lot happier again, with 10 out of 13 and 6 out of 7. But 5 out of 7, I'm happy with that. I'll take it any day. A lot better than other predictioners out there. But alright, guys, that's it. I will definitely be dropping some predictions on Monday or Tuesday for next week's event. I believe it's Hunt versus. I can't remember what the some Russian name, but it has some good fights. It's got Thiago Alves, which is one of my favorite fighters. So for sure we will be dropping predictions for that one. Alright, guys, enjoy the rest of the weekend.